You often heard the word swing state recently and do not really know what it is? Well, this video will tell you, but if you do not know how elections in the United States work, then you might want to check out this video here first, because it is necessary to know this to understand this video here. Over the last 35 years, some states became traditionally blue and others became or stayed traditionally red, which means blue established as the color of the Democratic Party. So blue states are those where it is almost safe that they are going to vote for the Democratic Party, and red states are those where it is almost sure that they are going to vote for the Republican Party. But there are also other states, namely the so-called swing states. In those states, it's not clear whether they're going to vote for the Democratic or the Republican Party because they switched a lot over the last years. And the reason why those swing states are so important is because there aren't enough blue states to get the 270 electors, and there aren't enough red states to get the 270 electors either. Therefore, those swing states will decide the election. But the question remains, how do we know whether a state is a red state, a blue state, or a swing state? A uniform definition of what is a swing state does not really exist, but I'd say there is a definition most media seem to base themselves with. Later more about this. Well, I already said there were states that voted mainly for the Democratic Party over the last 35 years. For example, the state of New York or California, but there are also other states such as Alaska and Texas who voted for the Republican Party for many decades now. California was won by the Democratic Party, for example, in 2020 with 63.5% of the votes. If you're not so much in the numbers, I can tell you, this is very much. But then there is, for example, Ohio, a state which was won by the Republican Party in 2004, by the Democratic Party in 2008 and 2012, and by the Republican Party again in 2016 and 2020. And I'd say it was seen as the most important swing state for many years. But now me and most people wouldn't call it a swing state anymore, because I think the Republican trend is way too clear. So you see, it's not just necessary that a state switched over the last few elections. For example, Arizona was a very Republican place for many years, but in 2020 it was won by the Democratic Party with only a few votes in favor, and suddenly Arizona is a swing state as well. Of course, a state with a close result in the last election is more likely to switch than, for example, California. But now to the definition most media seem to agree with. A swing state is a state with a lower 3% difference in the last election. Most media I read named Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia as swing states in the 2024 election, which were those states with a lower 3% advantage for the winning candidate in 2020. But I also saw that, for example, Virginia was mentioned at least as a potential swing state in the 2024 election, and I guess that's the point, why a uniform definition of what is a swing state doesn't really exist, because it doesn't matter what happened in the last election. If an analysis comes to the conclusion that a close result can be expected in a state which wasn't close in the election before, then it wouldn't make sense just to say, okay, wasn't close in the last election, it's not a swing state, why care about it? Therefore, I'd just say a swing state is a state where a close result can be expected. No, it's not as precise as the 3%, but the definition won't decide the election. So if you learned something from this video, I'd be glad if you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are also interested in 25 facts about Donald Trump, you might want to check out my video where I present Donald Trump's story. Thank you for watching.